Hi YouTube. Well, thank you for all your support. And well, I have a little rant, but I also have a, what do you call it, a confession with my rant. Well, to begin with, when I made my oil spill broadcast, I was so stupid to go in and use another profile's video sequence, and there was an overview of the waters in the Mexican Gulf, which with the red streaks on the water. I just found that very profound, and I just wanted to bring people to that attention. I got infringement rights on it, and it was pulled off. I have apologized to the owner of the video, and I hope he accepts it. But I want to say to prophetic seer, political seer, whatever you call yourself, I have 6 YouTubers reaming my butt for your stealing of their material and what to do about it. I can only say, flag him, flag you. It seems like everything you touches is someone else's work, and you even state on your profile, on Prophetic Seer profile, that this is your 6th profile due to deletion of your profile. I wonder why it is you get your profile deleted. It is because you are doing infringement in order for you to get your fame. I don't care about my fame. I'm just here to present my take on the whole situation, and you should do too. And if you decide to steal someone's work, at least give them kudos and credit for what they did. BP oil disaster is not pretty pleased with you, and world peace to you is neither either, and Arabella is neither pleased with you. So if you want to take something, ask them and give them credit for it. At least I do that. Well, enough of that. Something came to my attention yesterday. A guy called Ray Clay 2 sent me something very, very interesting. And that changes the whole picture of what's going on in the Gulf. And it might just be the reason why they silenced Matt Simmons, because he knew something. And this report is from 2005. It's very old, but anyway, I'm going to read it to you. This is very, very interesting, and that makes it very logic that this is a military operation and it's not a civil matter. So let's take it from there. So here it is. This is from 2005 from The Guardian, UK. US in race to unlock new energy source by David Adam. More than a mile below the choppy Gulf of Mexico waters lie a vast untapped source of energy, locked in mysterious crystals. The sediment beneath the seabed holds enough natural gas fuel for Americans' energy-guzzling society for decades, or to bring about sufficient climate change to melt the planet's glaciers, cause catastrophic flooding, depending on who you talk to. No prizes for guessing the US government's preferred line. This week it will dispatch a drilling vessel to the region on a mission to bring this virtually inexhaustible new supply of fossil fuel to the power station within a decade. The ship will hunt for methane hydrates, a weird combination of gas and water produced in the crushing pressures deep within Earth, literally ice that burns. The stakes could not be higher. Scientists reckon that there could be more valuable carbon fuel stored in the vast methane hydrate deposits scattered under the world's seabed and Arctic permafrost than in all known reserves of coal, oil, and gas put together. The amount of energy there is just too big to ignore, said Baham Tuhidi, head of the Center for Gas Hydrate Research, and Harriet Watt, University of Edinburgh. It is not easy, but it's not something we can say we can do, so let's forget about it. Britain may miss out of any future methane hydrate boom. The North Sea is too shallow and no deposit has been found in the deeper waters further north. But other countries have recognized their potential. Japan, India, and Korea, as well as the United States, are investing millions of pounds in hydrate research. Ray Boswell, whose head the hydrate program at the U.S. Department of Energy National Energy Technology Laboratory, said the U.S. was determined to be the first to mine the resource. Commercially viable production is definitely realistic within a decade. The world is investing in hydrates, and one of the reasons for us to do this is to maintain our leadership position in the emerging technology. Its new project will see the drilling vessel Uncle John spend about a month in the Mexican Gulf, where it will bore down to two of the largest expected methane hydrate deposits in the region. Scientists on the ship will collect samples for experiments to see how the methane might be freed and transported to the surface. Corrects it. This is harder than it sounds. In some deposits the crystals occur like thick layers, in others they are found as smaller nuggets. Puncture one hydrate reservoir and a giant release of gas can disrupt drilling, pierce another, and getting the methane out is like sucking porridge with a straw. Well, sorry about that. I had a very informative phone call. I'll tell you about that later. Well, where was I? I was here. This is harder than it sounds. In some deposits the crystals occur like thick layers. In the others they are found as smaller nuggets. Puncture one hydrate reservoir and a giant release of gas can disrupt drilling, pierce another, and get the methane out is like sucking porridge through a straw. They tried that with the dome thing and it clogged up because of this. I'll go on. This unpredictable nature means energy companies traditionally view of hydrates as nuisance. They give them a joint interest in the US government as both sides want to know where the crystals are, want to avoid them, and want to exploit them. And that's the least we should do. We should not tamper with this. Mr. Boswell said, "We have a marriage of the near-term industry interest and longer-term government interest. If they develop the ability to detect hydrates for the purpose of avoiding them, that's useful for people who want to do exact same thing for the purpose of finding them." Devina Mahajan, a chemist at the U.S. Department of Energy Laboratory in Brookhaven, is looking for ways to encourage subsea hydrate deposits to release their methane. He has developed a pressurized tank that allows for scientists to study hydrate formation. You fill the vessel with water and sediments, put the methane gas and cool it down under high pressure. After a few hours the hydrates form. You can actually see it. They look like ice, but they are not, he said. This is a very important issue tied to our future national energy security. Hydrates on land are easier to get at, and in 2003 a team of oil companies and scientists from Canada, Japan, India, Germany and the United States showed it was possible to produce methane from the icy deposits below Canada's Northwest Territories. BP and the US government are carrying out similar experiments in Alaska. Environmental groups oppose attempts to extract methane from hydrate reserves. Roger Hickman, a climate change campaigner and Friends of the Earth, said, "The Americans are desperately looking around trying to boost their fossil fuels because they think the oil is going to run out. It will never run out." and there is going to be a scarcity. The actual scarcity is in the space the atmosphere has taken the carbon dioxide that burning methane produces. He added, we already have enough fossil fuels in the world that, if burned, will ruin the world's climate. Rather than look for more, we need to keep oil, gas, and coal we already know about underground and develop alternative sources of energy, principally renewables. Paul Johnston, a scientist in the Greenpeace laboratory at Exeter University, warned that disturbing hydrate deposit on the seabed was a risky strategy. Indeed it is. There is a legitimate concern that attempts to tap into these reserves could cause very widespread destabilization of the seabed and damage the ecosystem, he said. Methane is far more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide, he said, and any release during production will make a global warming worse. Mr. Boswell said methane was more environmentally friendly than oil and coal because it produces less carbon dioxide when burned. True, but if it's not burned and released into the atmosphere, we will have the same effect as the CO2, but 10 times fold that. It is the most powerful greenhouse gas known to man. The prudent approach is to address all the avenues for supplying future energy. He said people who say it has to be one or the other, I think they are putting too many eggs in the basket. And regarding this, then I just think about that one. That one keeps popping up in my head. I don't know if this is exactly what they also are contemplating, but this is very scary. By making a tidal wave, by releasing this methane hydrate, not only will it suffocate everything living getting into the atmosphere and those who are in the vicinity of this release, I just say that this is absolutely insane. And we already kind of know now that this whole Operation BP and the US government is a military operation. Those people who's guarding the beaches and barring you for go down there and take pictures, barring the journalists to bring the truth, well, they can't bring the truth anyway. They probably signed a waiver, just like the fishermen. I hereby my name sign that I will not release any knowledge, any informations about, and so on and so on. So that one really freaks me out. And in the next episode, I want to talk about a dream I had, which I think relates to this. So stay tuned.